You ever heard of car? Rush was boycotted by advertisers because the woke advertising industry decided that all of you out there listening to us right now, your opinions don't matter. They consider you to be toxic to be reached. I don't care if Bud Light wants to advertise to trans people, and they're also advertising to people who believe in the Second Amendment and the Constitution, right? If Bud Light's perspective, Buck, was we want every single American to drink our beer, and so we are going to spend our advertising money evenly across the entire landscape of American thought, then I would say, okay, you know what, that makes sense. But that's not what happens. The advertising industry and the biggest brands out there are the wokest in all of America. And they have gotten rich off the idea that all they have to do is cater to the far left wing. And that's how this Dylan Mulvaney idiocy happened. Bud Light has gotten used to, as all these other brands have, Buck, that there is no negative association that ever comes from being too woke. And this is one of the first times I've seen a real solid punchback, as people said this is unacceptable.
There's a choke point here that you're addressing in our society, and that is if you can control. People often say, well, why is it that there's 95% of journalism, quote unquote journalism, that all comes from one side of the ideological spectrum, right? How does that happen? Why are there so many more sites out there and different corporate media outlets that are avowedly Democrat aligned and left wing than on the right? And people will say, and it's really trolling. I mean, there'll be, if we ask Chuck Todd this, he would just say, well, that's what the people want. No, that's actually not a function of what the people want, because we know half the country, at least, is right of center or center right, whatever you want to designate it as. But when they control the choke point of advertising dollars, that's effectively deciding what businesses can exist, right? Yeah. So if the ad agency, it's very hard to get going and get started. And this is one component of it when you talk about Bud Light and their in-house ads. What about Google? What about Facebook? You start to look at the biggest ad agencies, or rather ad purveyors really out there, yes, ones that have more control over the advertising market than anything else. They are exercising enormous influence on all companies, not just media companies, to adopt certain political stances and to deal with their customers in a certain way. And it's pernicious because what's